Right, well, a very good morning to you, and welcome to the after lunch session of the first test between Pakistan and South Africa. First test in a decade that South Africa has been back to Karachi. Very, very happy to be back in Pakistan. Such good news. And quite refreshing. I mean, my 14-year-old daughter was asking me why we hadn't played in Pakistan. I mean, that stuff is beyond her sort of her generation's memory, and so hopefully this will be the beginning of many good times with visiting teams touring Pakistan again. And in fact, COVID I think has been a bit of a blessing in disguise. My name is Simon Gear. With me is Otto and Chepo, and you are listening to Guerrilla Cricket South Africa, brought to you on the platform of One World Sports Radio. We are the proud South African cousins, or the baby brothers of the Guerrilla Cricket UK guys, who I'm sure you will have listened to on guerrillacricket.com. Tweet us at Guerrilla SA. That's GUERILLASA, GUERILLASA. Love to get your tweets in. As we start with Keshav Maharaj coming left arm over the wicket, and he just spins it in to the left-handed forward, and no run. Pakistan 104 for 4. Good morning, gents.
Morning.
How's it, Simon? Good to be on the microphone again with you guys.
It is indeed. As forward just plays this one into the onside and a no run again. I can see the feed is sort of coming and going from Karachi, so you might have to bear with us as well. Our feed should be up and running.
Not just me.
It's awesome. Not just you, mate. Don't stress. Third ball of the over, defended off the front foot. They look like they might be taking a quick single as we cut out the feed, and we have a break in transmission. It's been a good start for Pakistan today, managing to bat through the session, a session where I genuinely thought they'd be 8 down by now.
Yes, I was surprised and very happy with the wickets falling last night or yesterday afternoon. As I was following the scorecard. Next delivery here.
Yeah, just defended into the offside and no run. So Keshav now about to bowl the fifth ball of his over. He comes in and just loops it through. There's a half-hearted drive into the offside by forward. It's the left arm over bowling to a left-handed batsman, and no run again. That I think is possibly the end of that over. I think the details on the screen weren't quite up to date. So after the first over after lunch, Pakistan 104 for 4.
Yeah, indeed.
The final over after lunch. So a maiden to start, and Keshav throws it back 1 for 19 after 10 overs. He's been very, very parsimonious.
No doubt. The feet just keep coming in and out.
Yeah, we're just going to have to chat, guys. So don't worry about the feed coming back and forth. Let's just keep folks up to date with what's going on.
We will do.
So the two batsmen in at the moment, Azhar Ali, he's on 38 off 124, and the debutant Fawad Alam, he's the man with the Shivnarine Chandapal stance. He's on 39 as well. Of 89 balls, and this partnership has been going for a while now. 78 runs, it's worth. It's going to be spun from both ends, which is a bit of a surprise because KG was getting some good reverse swing in the morning session. George Linder, who is playing just his second Test match ever, he's going to be coming left arm around the wicket to the right-hander, and it is played into the covers, a quick single. And fired back into Quinny de Kock. Didn't see who the fielder was there, but well run by the Pakistan batsman. And that does take us through then to 105 for 4.
And this is what the Pakistani batsmen are doing well, just constantly rotating the strike. And all of a sudden they went from being under 50 for 4 to getting well past 100 with a very, very strong partnership. The South African bowlers have a lot to do, but hopefully they can strap in and get the job done.
I hope so. I mean, I think that it's been really, really good to see some solid Test match batting coming in from the Pakistan batsmen. South Africa really does need to try and find a successful breakthrough here. George Linder coming left arm over to the left-handed forward and just defended, and no run, 105 for 4.
We were quite surprised that we didn't see spin earlier when I was on during the first hour this morning, because the seam bowlers didn't look particularly threatening.
Defended into the onside and no run.
Ball.
Yeah, I think you and I might be slightly out of sync, Otto. We'll have to try and make a plan there.
Yeah, but that's fine. I'll just let you do the ball by ball. I'll wait for
no problem at all. Yeah, I'll just jump in when I have to.
And
forward again with that really strange stance of his, and once again just defended into Temba Bavuma, who's at that forward short leg. We had Markram under the lid yesterday in that position for a while, and never really got to the bottom of what informed South Africa as to when they put Markram there and when they put Bavuma. The fifth ball of the over, this is a straighter one, and again worked into the onside straight into Bavuma. The way that bounced off him, I suspect it probably hit his leg pads or something like that. No run. Both batsmen here on 39, forward off 93, so he's been batting a little bit faster. Azhar Ali on 125. Final ball of the over looped in, defended off the front foot, and no runs. Just one run since lunch, and I suspect this might be quite a slow, grinding next hour of Test cricket as South Africa tries to throttle the Pakistanis, and the Pakistanis, through sheer force of will, I think, try to start getting on top of South Africa on the second day of this Test match.
Indeed. They were well on top yesterday when they came into bat, and then 4 wickets before close of play. Very good for South Africa, but Pakistan recovering well from that final session yesterday, from their batting yesterday. So far, at least, these two look like they've got nothing else to do and nowhere else to go, so that's good for Pakistan. We know we are pretty coloured commentators, so if you're a Pakistan fan, please let us know what you think as we prepare for Maharaj's over to start. He's got a slip in and then the short square leg. Only catches close to the wicket. He's bowling to Azhar Ali, right-handed batsman.
Left arm around the wicket is Keshav Maharaj. So 2 left-handed spinners here in service. Obviously, Tabraiz Shamsi not making it into this side. He was due to play, and his back went into spasm literally in the warm-up. And I think Lungi Ngidi was included with about 7 minutes of notice before toss. Once again, just defended off the front foot, no run. It would have been quite useful. Shamsi is right-handed, is he? Very bad. Yeah, so it would have been useful to have that variation, I think, for Quinton de Kock. Third ball of the over. This time he does bring the sweep out and he gets it in front of square of the umpire. It'll be Heinrich Nortje who runs around and collects on that square leg boundary. They come through for 2, and Azhar Ali moves into his 40. He's now on 41. Pakistan 107 for 5.
That's unfortunate that Shamsi missed out on this Test match. Lots of spin on offer from the pitch we saw yesterday with Azir Shah. He extracts a lot of spin from the pitch, and South Africa looking for someone to strike now, looking for someone to break the partnership, and we can't just go on runs.
They're certainly not looking like they're going to get one. They're being fairly economical, as this one is just pushed out into the offside and they run through for a single. But I don't really see where a wicket is going to come from at the moment. There's certainly very, very little problems being caused by these spinners, and both of these batsmen are settled in and looking like they mean business. Worked into the offside by a forward, and they jog through for another single. So suddenly 4 runs off this over, and off the first 4 balls of this over, in fact. First 5 balls, I apologize. And Pakistan will happily take that if they can rack up 10 or 15 of these on the trot. Suddenly they're really in the driving seat of this Test match.
Indeed, they are. So Pakistan can be very happy with Azhar Ali and Fawad Alam, the way they started this morning. after such a long time not being able to play at home, I'm sure they would have had some harsh words to say in the dressing room, in Pakistan's dressing room last night and this morning, just to remind the guys what it means to play for your country and all that sort of thing. Yeah, Simon, I agree. I can't see how the wickets are going to come here for South Africa. Again, as we saw in the Sri Lanka series, it looks like they're waiting for mistakes rather than trying to get somebody out.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a test match session, isn't it? I mean, it's this period where you're giving your fast bowlers a bit of a break. You're trying to figure out where a breakthrough is going to come, and you're unfortunately having to tailor your suit to cut your cloth, or whatever, however you say it. You can only use the weapons available to you, and in this case, it's two left-arm spinners who look very, very similar, and aren't looking particularly incisive. That said, KG Rabada warming up, so we're going to see some of his reverse swing. He was swinging it into the left-hander earlier against the shiny side of the ball, and so hopefully this might bring a little bit of adventure into the proceedings.
Yes, and we saw before lunch, during the first hour, also that Ngidi and Nortje were hiding the ball from the batters. And
Rabada right arm around the wicket to the left-handed forward and left alone as goes through to the keeper. No run, 109 for 4. Forward is there on 40, Azhar Ali on 42.
Now, I wasn't sure if that was a trick to try and let the batsmen think that there was some reverse swing, or if they were actually getting some. And it looks like, as you said, Rabada got some movement through the air. I didn't particularly see any predicted movement from the others. And now again, Rabada looks look like he's getting that movement at the moment.
Yeah, sort of. I don't know. I think it's pretty gun barrel straight. As that one also left alone, well outside of off stump. I hope this is not the tactic, because it'll be like watching paint dry if we have the spinners from one end and Rabada bowling a 7th stump line outside the off stump from the other end. It's a case of trying to bore the batsman out. And I suspect that these two guys are completely capable of batting at 2.5 runs and over for the foreseeable future. They'll be more than happy just to let things go and to allow the bowlers to bowl to them. Rabada in again for the third ball of his over. This is a bit straighter and worked onto the onside. There's a rolling stop by a man at a catching mid-wicket. It is Keshav Maharaj, in fact, and he manages to stop the single. No, he doesn't. Sorry, they do get through for that single, 110 for 4. So Rabada is now going to get the ball to the right-hander, which I think he prefers. As we talk about that, Dean Elgar has now shown that there is a little bit of fluff coming off the ball, a little thread coming off the ball, and the umpire clipping that off with his nail clippers, and we will continue.
Now let's
Honestly,
see what Rabada does. Yeah, it looks like he is also hiding the ball from the batsman.
They were talking about this earlier, that the South African bowlers have become a lot more careful around that, or certainly the younger guys, as this is defended into the offside and no run. They've had quite a lot of input in their fast bowling camp about some of the subtler tricks of the trade for fast bowlers. And you see, for example, Lungi Ngidi, who now hides the ball in his run-up. I think KG's done it for quite a few years now already. But particularly when there is a reverse swing on offer, it's very, very much an important thing to be able to do. He comes in again, and he does get a bit of swing into the right-hander here, and wasn't able to see if it was reversing or not, but a good ball that was defended into the offside and no run.
Okay, so it's more a question of a good habit that they're learning rather than trying to signal trying to signal that it is reversed and trying to put some doubt into the batsman's mind.
Yeah, I think it's something you have to get used to doing every single time. And again, just pitched up to that right-hander who drives it into the covers where Temba Bavuma makes the stop. He's still got his leg pads on, although not under the lid at the moment. But I'm sure we'll see him go back into a catching position for the spinners. That's the end of that over. The end of Rabada's 13th over. He's 2 for 21. And Pakistan 110 rather. For 4, they trail by 110 runs. So halfway there with 4 wickets down. And I think, to be honest,
Pakistan.
if South Africa, if South Africa was offered them to get to 220 with 8 wickets down, so basically to double the current score, I think South Africa would probably take it at this stage.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Maharaj's next ball.
So he comes in and it doesn't turn at all and just goes straight past the outside edge of the left-handed forward and no run. I'm going to try and actually speed myself up ever so slightly so that I can.
Sorry.
Yes.
I think I got ahead there a little bit. I kept moving from different screens because sometimes I had to reload. So that's why I'm still trying to find you guys. It's a bit complicated. Sorry about that.
He now turns it into the onside.
But it's looking
and there's
good.
A diving attempt by Temba Bavuma, but there was no real chance of a catch there. I think it was turned off the face of the bat. And unless that actually hits the man at short square leg, it's not going to go to hand. And Pakistan go through to Nelson, 111 for 4. What do they call Nelson on the subcontinent? I'm assuming not Nelson. Is there any question. Of that sort of superstition? So we know the Australians do 87 as Azhar Ali now works this backward of square on the offside. It's going to go all the way down to third man. It's run away for 4. He's going to move to 46. Pakistan to 115 for 4. And Maharaj, having given up 4 runs in his previous over, has now given up 5 in this one and beginning to look ever so slightly expensive, certainly for the period of the game.
You just he's getting some turn there, and that was a cut shot that got a thickish outside edge over the head of first slip. So that's encouraging to see from Maharaj's point of view. He just wants a thinner edge, a bit more turn away from the right hand.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. This one defended into the offside, though, and no run. So Azhar Ali now within a shot of his half century. So he will be looking forward to that. It'll be very, very well deserved, considering that it was 30 odd for 4 when he was joined by Fawad, and Fawad himself on 42. If he can make a 50 on his debut, he will be very, very pleased indeed. Is that the end of that over? I think it is indeed. So Pakistan 115 for 4, Fawad on 42, Azhar Ali on 46. And Pakistan trailing by 105 in this after lunch session.
So I found out that it's only a Nelson, which is 111 and 87 in nothing in the subcontinent, and 87 because the devil's number, because it's literally 13 away from 100. So maybe like some Friday the 13th stuff going on there, or maybe 13 is just an unlucky number, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting that they go with that in Australia rather than the 111, especially considering Australian cricket was very, very steeped in English culture early on when these things were originally decided. Rabada to continue, defended off the back foot by the left-handed forward and no run. But they did some research recently showing that more Australian wickets have fallen on 111 than have fallen on 87 anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Possibly because the Australians pay more attention on 87, who knows? What would be a good study to see is whether more... Yeah?
No, I don't even remember where I learned about the 111 and, keeping your feet off the ground. As we see the next ball from Rabada.
Just defending to the offside and no run. You just have your say, and I'll jump in with ball by ball when it happens. So don't stress.
Okay.
I know exactly where I learned about it is watching cricket at the Wanderers with my dad, and he was very insistent that we take our feet off the ground for every Nelson. He observed that right the way through my childhood. He took it super seriously. Right, Rabada in a left arm around, a shorter ball defended into the onside and no run. Both of these guys looking so solid here.
Yeah, where
Under
is
it's
the
about
wicket going to come
Nelson.
from? Only one slip. They've got a man at square leg and then mid wicket and then a wideish mid on. So once again, it looks like the line would be onto the stumps and defending the onside with the fielders there, or looking for the chip shot into mid wicket.
We'll hear where Chepo learnt about Nelson straight after this ball. Just left alone outside the off stump, no run.
It was a very strange situation. I was playing a game and someone got hit on their eye. And then that's the first time I heard about the Nelson being mentioned. Then only after that did I really know that it was 111 that was a Nelson because of some oak that got clapped in the eye. I even forgot his name. But yeah, very early days.
It was Lord Nelson.
Guess his name, mate. Guess his name.
No. I meant in my own game.
No, man. Okay. Defended off the
he
back
was
foot and no run. Yeah, I mean,
He was a
it was
pretty admiral. I think he lost his leg, his arm, and his eye fighting
Yeah,
against
he
the
did.
French.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, and there was also a primary school kid that got smacked in the eye, and that taught me about the British.
That's where they made the connection for you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
With
only after that.
Yeah, the disappointment with the one leg, one arm, one eye thing is it's not actually true. He did only have
What?
one functioning eye, but I'm afraid he had both his legs and both his arms. Did Admiral Nelson, Horatio Nelson, whose column is right outside South Africa House in London.
Horatio.
Yeah, you can literally throw a Nando's
His
burger
column.
from the entrance. Yeah, he's got he's on a plinth in Trafalgar Square in London, and you can throw a Nando's burger from the entrance of South Africa House onto the base of the column. Basically, it's that close, and that's where
Have
I
you
voted
thrown
in
a
the
Nando's
1984 election. No, the last time I was
Did you
there,
throw a
it was before Nando's. If I paid the equivalent of the down payment on a small car for a burger, I wouldn't be throwing it anywhere. I can assure you that.
Exactly. Imagine. Oh,
I mean,
man.
Nando's is nice, but geez, it's overpriced for what it is. Right, so left arm around the wickets is Keshav Maharaj and defended by Azhar Ali and no run. So Azhar
Nando's is
will
basically the Woolies of chicken.
Oh, geez, yeah. And can you imagine how expensive it must be in London? And it's popular in London, eh? Yeah. Defended again and no run. I know a lot of the professional footballers are clearly allowed to eat Nando's as their takeaways because they'll often boast about having it. Yeah.
It feels so healthy as well. Compared to KFC. Are we allowed to talk about other
but
things
dude,
that we're not selling?
No, well, yeah, geez, if they want to sponsor us, we'll be as nice about them as we like. But I mean, hitting your head against the wall is healthier than KFC. Let's be honest.
Okay, so now we see a silly point in and a slip in for Keshav bowling to the right-hander.
Yeah, and they're getting Azhar Ali using his feet a little bit. Of course, when he uses his feet, he takes that silly point out of the game because he gets ahead of him.
Exactly.
But he's certainly. I get the sense things are beginning to happen a bit. This time he gets down for the paddle sweep, and it's going to be Dean Elgar for point, who's chasing it all the way down. But Heinrich Nortje comes round to make that run pointless. I think sometimes when you're at slip, it's quite nice just to have a chase down to the boundary to get everything working again. So they go through for two. Yeah, Azhar Ali on 48, and he's just batting so in control. He's really, really looking like he's setting out his stall today. You'll notice I'm desperately trying to jinx him.
That ball was too straight there from Keshav on the middle and leg stump line for the right-hander. So
it was a bit
flip around.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of drift in for the final ball of his over, but defended off the front foot. And 2 runs off the over. Keshav 1 for 30 off his 13, and Pakistan 117 for 4. With Azhar Ali on 48. Go ahead. Yeah, let's have some tweets.
Awesome. So we have one from Ravi Nice saying subcontinental teams have no number of suspicions that I know of. Some may follow the Nelson, but few. And then we have a tweet from Umpo, your friendly neighborhood sports guy, saying, South Africa house. Voted there in the last election. Not sure about throwing a Nando's burger for paid in pounds or paid for in pounds. Exactly. Yeah, that would be smart.
So Mpho and I both, that's something he and I have in common, is we've both voted at South Africa House. I voted in the 94 elections there. And our vote didn't count in the end. Yeah.
Your vote didn't count in the end?
Yeah, they didn't count any of the foreign votes in 1994. We all went and voted, but they didn't count any of them. I'm not quite sure why. I think it was just all a bit much.
I didn't even know that, Simon.
Yeah. I mean, I voted in every election since then, so I feel like I've done my bit. But not all of them at South Africa House. These days, I vote at St. Stithians College in Sandton, so quite almost as expensive real estate as South Africa House. That was horribly wide down the lakeside, and I don't think it was called a wide. Geesh, I mean, I would have been tempted to call it a wide in schoolgirl cricket, to be honest. But it was also gloved by Quinny, and they jogged through for a bye. I think it was called bye. Did you guys see a wide called there?
No, I don't think so.
No, I didn't. I think it was a bye.
Yeah,
just a bye.
I didn't see any bats on the ball either. But it didn't go as far wide as it seemed. It just came at an angle and continued going even wider down the leg side. Down the left-handed leg side, in fact. So, yeah, that's why Quinny had to put in the dive. We're seeing some average, we're seeing some stats here for Kagiso Rabada against Pakistan. In 4 matches, he's taken 19 wickets at an average of 17.8. That is incredible. Even though a small sample size, but incredible nonetheless.
No, he's a class act.
He wouldn't have bowled in Pakistan. This would be the first time that he's bowling in a test match in Pakistan. So those would all have been in South Africa and in the UAE.
Is he old enough to have played against Pakistan in the UAE? I suppose he must have been. Just trying to think when we last played there. Yeah. In fact, he's only played 4 test matches. Three of those would have been in December of 2018. So now I think he's only played.
Because it was,
defended into the offside and no run. There was a really good stat on Reddit this morning that I saw of fast bowling averages since 2018 across all of the countries. And South Africa is at the top of that list, averaging as a team 24 for our fast bowlers. I think next was Australia on 25 and then England on 26, something like that. But we've certainly got... we've had a conveyor belt of fast bowlers right the way through our entire post-isolation cricket period in South Africa. It's one of our great blessings in this country. I'm not quite sure where they come from because it's not like South Africans are known for their sprinters or their, I suppose, I was going to say for their 400-meter runners, but of course we've got the current world record 400-meter runner. So I take that back. My apologies. As KG Rabada just knocked into the onside, they take a quick single, well scampered through. That'll take Azhar Ali to 49 now. I can't tell the difference between either of these batsmen when they're not actually facing. Luckily, there's a left-hander and a right-hander, but both of the guys bearded, quite sort of short, stocky men. And so in fact, that was Ali playing that, and Fawad now to face. He's on 42. Pakistan 119 for 4. Come on, KG. Has 17 runs elapsed since he lost his last wicket? Is he due another one yet? I think he's
probably. Maybe.
I think he's on. Isn't he on 2 for 20 odd? So he probably needs to get up to the mid 40s before he's allowed to take another wicket. 2 for 22 at the moment. Oh, that's just a very nothing ball by KG that is wide of the off stump and dies on its way through to Quinny de Kock. That was a waste of everyone's time, mate.
That's not very encouraging signs. Sorry, Otto, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's not ideal from Kagiso. Maybe he's trying to get some movement as he's bowling over the wicket to the left-hander there. But that will just straight too wide, pitched too wide outside of stump to trouble.
Yeah, straight to this time and defended back to the bowler and no run. So after 53 overs, Pakistan 119 for 4. Azhar Ali will be facing on 49. So pretty sure we'll probably see him go to his 50 in this next over. Fawad is on 42, and the partnership is 92 runs now at a little under 3 runs and over. So really batting Pakistan back into this game in a serious way.
Yes, they are.
We have another.
South Africa need a wicket, and they need a wicket quickly. And if Pakistan can get a lead here after the first innings, I think it's going to be very tough for South Africa to get a result or force a draw from a deficit, given the performance in the first innings.
Yeah, I mean, I would say even if South Africa manages to burgle a lead of about 20, I think they're still up against it, because this is going to be his 50. He rocks back, plays it into the offside. Lungi Ngidi does the chasing down to third man. We're going to come back for 2. Azhar Ali goes to 51. Do one of you guys want to give all the numbers?
I can Otto.
Please,
go ahead.
Teko, I don't have
Okay, I have the score open. It's Azhar Ali. He's gotten himself 51 of 148 balls. He's done very well, rather, not done very good. And I'll tell you, that English was atrocious. I wanted to say he's done very good work and done very well to get his, let me see, is that his 33rd 50 or his 32nd 50? Very impressive record. He's definitely up there.
Of course, a man with a higher score of 302 in Test matches, which he got last year. I think it was quite recently. Average is 43, but today has been a grind. He's scored at 2 runs and over, or 2 runs per 6 balls faced, all the way through this innings, and it's been of vital importance to Pakistan.
That's the type of innings that we'd hope more batsmen in the South African camp would try emulate. It was very unfortunate to see how Quinton de Kock went when you're looking at these two batsmen just like setting themselves and really getting maximum runs here. Also, Rassie van der Dussen fell in a very unfortunate way. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
That was ridiculous.
I mean, Rassie and Dean Elgar just defended back to the boat and no run. Rassie and Dean Elgar looked like they were planning to bat until Saturday. You know, I mean, it was that sort of really, really good grinding, but rotating the strike well, going at 4 runs and over without really taking any risks. And this time, Azhar Ali has a flash outside off stump, and it goes straight through to Quinton de Kock, and it is caught by the keeper. And that is the end of Azhar Ali. He will be furious with himself. But I did just get the sense that things were opening up a little bit in the last 3 to 4 overs, which was giving the opportunity for the South Africans. And the mistake has come, and the 5th wicket for Pakistan goes down.
Excellent ball by Maharaj. Just moved enough, bounced enough to get the outside edges. Ali tried the cut shot or back foot, tried to drive it off the back foot into the covers. And just did by a bit of extra bounce there. Not a lot of movement as the left arm slow bowler as Maharaj angled the ball into him. It straightened a little bit, but bounced enough to get the edge of his bat that was able. So well done, Maharaj. 121 for 5 after 54 overs. He says a little prayer of thank there. Does Maharaj, and Mohammad Rizwan is the next batsman in.
And that's Azhar Ali, 51 of 151 balls, 4 fours in that innings. Not a lot of boundaries for his 50, and was at an average, at a strike rate rather, of 33.7. And to the crease, we will have, who is this? Mohammad Rizwan, the wicketkeeper. Fantastic wicketkeeper batsman here. He was the captain of the last series. Has quite a few interesting stats, and very keen to see him in the middle here. So I might have.
Yeah, he's going to be at the non-strikers end. He's 28 years old.
Yes.
12 matches, 18 innings, 588 runs at an average of 39.2 with 6 50s and a best of 95.
Do you guys want to know something interesting?
Azhar Ali, a huge thank you, along with forward Alam, getting them out of the position they were in this morning at, what was it, 33 for 4, all the way to 120 odd for 5, 121 for 5. So job well done by Azhar Ali, but he would be disappointed with that shot, I would say.
Right, so KG Rabada is set to start the new over, and it is just defended into the onside and no run. It's Fawad who's facing, by the way. Rizwan is at the non-striker's end. That Maharaj wicket came at the last ball of the previous over, I think, unless I've managed to jump ahead of you guys.
Yes, you're quite correct. That was the last ball, yes.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, look, he's very, very happy with that. He needed that breakthrough. Shorter ball by Rabada and just worked around onto the onside. Linda does the fielding, number 27 on his back. That was my lucky number when I was a teenager batting in at school. I loved number 27. And South Africa, I think, certainly feeling pleased to have had that wicket. They must have been wondering where the next wicket was going to come from.
Yes, we were definitely wondering that. Yep. So very good work for South Africa by Maharaj. Good to see from a South African point of view. And as I said, Azhar Ali would have been. We see a replay of him walking off, rehearsing the shot that he wanted to play a little bit more down onto the ball to try and negate the extra bounce, but he managed to get an edge there. So we see 2 slips now and so first, second, and fourth slip looks like. And
2 slips in the gully.
Point. Okay.
Yeah, left outside the off stump by Rizwan. That's the first ball that he's faced. Some after pitch movement there in the air from KG Rabada, and Quinton de Kock took it low to his left. I thought that ball was probably a little bit too close to him to cut as well. I think that's probably why he landed up getting the top edge. But you live and learn. And he's going to have to watch the afternoon's proceedings from the dugout. Here comes Rabada in again for the fourth ball of his over, right on the money on the off stump. Knocked into the offside. They look for the single. There's a misfield, and they quite correctly decide against the single because they would have got themselves into trouble had they tried to take on the gun arm of Heinrich Nortje there. I sometimes think a guy like Heinrich probably does almost deliberately just knock it on a little bit, see if he can't encourage a bit of a uncertainty from that. Although you've got to warn.
Where is it?
You've got to warn your coach. It worked around onto the onside off the pads. Linda again, the man who's going to be collecting it. He fires it in and 1 run. Rizwan gets off the mark. Pakistan 123 for 5. You've got to warn your coach beforehand that that's going to be your plan, because otherwise you're going to be doing field drills on Monday morning.
True that. No, that one was a bit loose from Rabada, too much on the middle and leg stump. He shakes his head. He knows that wasn't the ball that he wanted to give the new batsman. So again, we see the onside quite well defended. They've got a square leg and a forward square leg for the left-hander.
I'm not quite sure what happened in this ball that's just been bowled now. It was pitch short going across the left-hander from Rabada, and Fawad reacted like you'd uncovered a cobra in a pot, but really threw his head back, but it actually didn't really bounce much at all, and landed up pretty much just running off the face of his bat down to third man. So he goes to 44, but that could have gone absolutely anywhere when you look at the way that he played it.
Reacted, no doubt about it.
124 for 5 now. Chepa, won't you update us on the tweets? I can see a couple of come through.
Perfect. I was about to ask, in fact.
So
we have quite a few tweets. First, we'll start from the most recent ones. But just force it in. Just here we go.
Yes.
13 is my favorite number, and I would wear it in all my teams and that I played for across my sports, and it was quite lucky for me, and that was from Umpo. And another one, finally a breakthrough when Pakistan were looking quite set. A great wicket for SA. What a way to get Azhar Ali. Keshav, get in. And then we
Okay,
have
hold on,
Josie Oak, who is-
hold on. Let me just jump in quickly. As
Please.
Fawad just turns one off his hips. This is from Maharaj, by the way. It turns one off his hips, runs down to third man. They scamper through for 2, and that's going to take him through to 46. So he now, in turn, is a boundary away from his half century, and Pakistan 126 for 5. I'll take us through Keshav's next ball, and then you can continue to update us on the tweets. It is forward facing again. He rocks back and tries to pull it forward of square, but there is that mid-wicket, catching mid-wicket there, and it goes on the bounce to the man there, and no run.
It's only appropriate that Fawad Alam is on strike because you have a picture here from Dr. Dan, another picture of Fawad Alam's stance. It's a very good picture, very good sketch. And Josie Oak said a lot earlier, saying batting looking easy for Pakistan here. If they get a 150 lead, the South Africans will be going down by an innings. That would be a bit hectic. And then finally, we have one from Umpo, your friend, neighborhood sports guy, saying, #stop the counts happening in the 94 elections. South Africa House is very, very fancy, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's smart. It's got a lovely gold springbok on the crest above the door. It's not even crest. What do you call it? It's like on the prow of a ship, that you have it sticking out.
Oh, it's like on a Bentley or something, or like the Mercedes, what do you call that?
Yeah,
stuff?
similar sort of principle, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a stage where South Africa was planning to sell South Africa House. It's insanely expensive real estate, in the absolute prime spot in London.
Hectic.
But I don't know what happened to that idea. Maharaj in again, a fuller ball that is worked off his toes by Fawad, and Linda again making a diving stop at that short mid wicket. It's been very, very busy in this over, and he stops the run. Maharaj is 2 for 34 off his 15 overs. Pakistan 126 for 5. Fawad is there on 46. Rizwan 1 off 3.
So is that how many balls are left in this over? So that would be Rizwan facing the next over. If we can keep Fawad Alam on strike here and try and target that new batsman, that'll be great.
To be fair, this new batsman is no easy wicket. I did some research on Mohammad Rizwan. He was the captain of the last series after just playing like 10 matches. He only had 10 matches under his belt. And in his last 6 innings, 5 of them have been past 50. So he's been scoring at an average of 54. So if we're talking about in-form batsman, Rizwan is definitely right there right now.
Well, you very, very nearly put the markers on him, because the very first ball from KG Rabada just went past the outside edge of Rizwan. He did everything he possibly could to try and nick it to first slip, but didn't manage to get his bat on it. So he survives.
Ooh, nice
one,
KG.
What if it was
we need to get rid of him?
What if that was it? Yeah.
Why the hell, if he was averaging 50 in his last 6 innings as captain, why the hell did they take the captaincy away from him?
Because he was a standing captain.
Oh, it doesn't matter if a bloke is averaging 50 as captain and doing well and keeping well, then keep things going. Don't mess around with it. Defended into the onside and no run. One thing I must say about Pakistan at the moment, their setup, is that it's an all Pakistan dressing room. There's no foreign coaches or anything like that, and they've got guys like Waqar Younis in there. I think Yunus Khan is in there as well. Some really, really big names from Pakistan of the past. The great days of Pakistan cricket. I think this is probably the way to go for Pakistan cricket. Angled in by KG Rabada, and Rizwan defends it with the outside half of his bat through to Heinrich Nolkir at backward point, and no run.
So you don't think that they lose a certain type of perspective, outside perspective? For example, with Eddie Jones in South Africa's Rugby World Cup campaign in 2007, an Australian coach that eventually went on to coach England, and that wealth of experience actually helps a lot more. Would that not be a better way of doing it?
Oh, this time he does get an edge, and it goes on the bounce to to Quinton de Kock, I think literally on the half volley to him. I thought it had carried. This is Rizwan, by the way, who's facing, and played a very, very similar shot to the one we got excited about earlier on in the over. Let's have a look at this. KG Rabada looking for the away swing, not really moving very much. It's on that off stump. Oh, and it goes on the bounce to Quinny. Good piece of keeping there, but he would take that. Yeah,
that was a fantastic take.
Yeah, it was well done. Diving down to his right, but literally on the half valley. Next ball is a bouncer, and Rizwan is able to just have a flap at it. Goes down to fine leg. They're going to go through for at least one. Just the 127 for 5. Rizwan gets off strike, which I think was part of the plan there, and he goes through to 2. Looking for a drink already? Come on, mate! You've only been there 3 minutes, and the way you're going, you're going to be able to go and have a drink from the tap any moment now. So a bit of patience required, I think. Yeah,
Zing.
I think that Pakistan has had foreign coaches for quite a while, and they still have a foreign coach for the women's team. And I think they were maybe overdue having some homegrown talent and really trying to build an ethos of quality Pakistan cricket. As this is flicked off the toes of the left-handed forward, it goes on the bounce to square leg, where I'm curious to see how close this was to a catch, unless it was a bump ball that then flew to Dean Elgar there. But he dived and had a bit of a go back at the stumps. I think the batsman was carried out of his crease as he played the shot. Anyway, that is the end of that over. 127 for 5. Rabada 2 for 26 of 17. So he's averaging 13 at the moment, and he averages 17 against Pakistan. So he needs to give away a few more runs first before he's genuinely due another wicket.
Fair enough.
It looks like there's a little bit more energy now from South Africa in the field. Kagiso is looking upset, so that's a good sign for South Africa. And with that, Elgar diving forward, throwing the ball quickly back to the striker's end. Just things happening now in the field, a little bit more energy, a little bit more pep in their step, so to speak.
Do you think Kagiso is an angry bowler? Do you think he bowls better when he's angry? I'm not sure.
Well, he gets worked up and gets fired up. For a fast bowler, I think that's always a good sign to get the juices flowing and the adrenaline pumping. And I can remember a few occasions where you would see the expression on Kagiso's face and think, I don't want to face him now. I'll just wait for him to calm down.
Maharaj bowling the second ball of his over, defended into the offside, no run. Yeah, I mean, I can obviously remember him getting worked up against the Australians and the English. I'm not sure if but those have often been quite exceptional circumstances. I think about other guys, Andre Nell, Alan Donald was very much an angry bowler. He bowled very, very well when he was irritated. I think Makhaya Ntini bowled well when he was angry. In fact, to the point where there's at least one occasion where the coach deliberately upset him to try and get him going. Dumped the ice bath over his head when he came in at tea and told him to wake up and get going. And I think he took 5 wickets in the evening session. So it does work. And I mean, unfortunately, with Makhaya, what we've subsequently learned is he was often a lot angrier than we realized at the time. Right, Maharaj left arm around the wicket to the right-hander, a textbook forward defensive to the catching point and no run. Rizwan's on 2, Fawad's on 46, and Pakistan 127 for 5.
Interesting stat that they're showing us now. Ahmed Rizwan never lost his wicket to spin.
Really?
0 dismissals.
Sure, that's quite something.
Huh.
Right, so he's,
Interesting.
Alim Dar just informing Maharaj that, informing the batsman that Maharaj is going to come. I don't know what he's informing him of because he's still bowling left arm around the wicket. So I have no idea what that was all about. Thought he was going to come left arm over to the right hander for a bit. That's the last ball of that over. And is it? Oh no, it was a no ball. My apologies. That's what the previous one was.
What?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's why his arm was out.
Yes, I thought he was showing.
I thought it was the stopping coming from around. Yeah.
So that was the signal to the third umpire to say you missed that one.
Or maybe he was getting maybe he has a microphone piece in his ear, an earpiece just telling him that was a no ball at him.
Yeah, I think they
Make
probably
sure
do.
you get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sheesh,
Yeah,
you've got
'cause I
to.
think it's an umpire. Yeah, surely.
Yeah, it must be a microphone in their an earpiece in their ears, which is not easy. I mean, I've in my career over the years often had to wear an earpiece, and you wear one for longer than about half an hour, and they get uncomfortable. They get sore.
No doubt.
You've got to have them very, very well fitted, and even the ones that I've had professionally fitted, they definitely get uncomfortable after a little bit. We must have to see if they're wearing earpieces. I'm not sure if they are. Right, so Rabada to start his 18th over. He's short of ball out and left alone by forward and no run.
We have a few tweets here. One from Josie Oak saying that at Gorilla SA, surprised that the Zuptas didn't sell off South Africa House to line their pockets. Zuptas, Guptas, could have been, hey? And lots happen. And one from Umpo saying that there's lots happening in this period.
Decorations and stuff that wasn't nailed down. Yes.
Yeah, actually, maybe if someone's in London could tell us if the gold Springbok is still there. Maybe it's been melted down.
I'd always laugh when I saw Mercedes. I'm not sure what model of Mercedes it was, but it was that old Mercedes that's like your grandpa would always have, that always had that turning Mercedes logo on the bonnet. And then some of them would like not have that Mercedes little sticky out thingy. And I was thinking, yo, these kids, bro, they're hectic.
Do you know what the worst part of that story is for me? Is that when you describe that emblem on the Mercedes as something that your grandfather would have.
Yeah.
I only realized now in that story that modern Mercedes don't have it sticking up like that. I thought it was always there.
What? No, it's only
right outside your stuff, just stunned into the ground by forward and no run.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Him with the 3-point star just stuck to the hood instead of standing on a little
yeah. We used to joke that emblem was so that the drivers could use it as a gun sight for the pedestrians.
Yes.
They hunt them down. Yeah.
Gives you better aim.
Yeah. Exactly, your typical Mercedes driver. Although Mercedes drivers are a lot more chilled than Beamer drivers, aren't they? Oh, a full ball, two forward, a full toss on the leg stump, and he turned it leg side, and I think it just went on the bounce to Temba Bavuma. Maybe that might have even been a catch there. Let's have a look. So it was an attempted Yorker, but he got it far too full, and it was turned on the bounce to Temba Bavuma, who took it diving to his right. That could have gone anywhere. In the end, actually played very, very well.
That is so close.
Temba Bavuma and Aiden Markram are standing there at a square leg, about 2 pitch widths away from the batters. Yes.
Yeah, it's a really
just
interesting.
a little bit forward of square and Markram a little bit behind square, so they're definitely looking for that shot to go somewhere in that region.
Yeah, they're looking for it, and that's the second ball in a row that has been hit to Temba Bavuma there. So this is there've been some very, very interesting field settings on the leg side to the fast bowlers all the way through this test match. So clearly a lot of novel ideas being tried by Quinton de Kock, which I really like to see. He's a more attacking batsman. Third ball in a row to Temba Bavuma at that catching mid-wicket. And no run. I've always been, it's been one of my complaints that South African captains are generally not very innovative or attacking. And I think Quinton de Kock has been noticeably better in both of those spheres since he's taken over, which is really, really good to see.
Now they've got a wideish mid on as well, in line with those two fielders, about 2 pitch widths away from the batters on the onside, from the left-handed forward arm anyway on the onside. This one's facing Rabada, they've got 2 slips in, and just the 1 slip in for forward arm.
Do you think maybe you should put a leg slip in there as well? Because we see that final one of the over actually getting turned down through that area. It was on the ground. It wouldn't have been a catch. But if you're going to bowl, see he's bowling right arm over the wicket to the left-hander and trying to get it in on his leg stump, forcing the batsman to turn it onto the onside like that. I would maybe like to see a leg slip there as well, or a leg gully. Maybe
they had one for a few deliveries earlier on. Trying something here in South Africa, which is good to see. Like you said, Simon, that's something that I also don't like, is that most of our national captains have been quite devoid of imagination. And as I mentioned earlier this morning, when Plan A doesn't work, we tend to stick with Plan A. So it's nice to see them trying something different. Now, saying that, as we saw 40 minutes, a whole hour go by without any spinners given a chance. So waiting until just before lunch for the spinners to come through.
So Maharaj is now starting his second over, or his 17th over. I don't know where I got that from. First ball is defended into the offside, and I don't think there was a run there again. No, it was. In fact, they did go through for one. So forwards on 48, and Pakistan on 130 for 5. Rizwan facing now and defended into the offside, no run.
Now they trail by 90, 130 for 5. Forward on 48 of 127, and we see Temba Bavuma there on his knees next to. So he's at a very silly point, just off the wicket.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by that. Hey? I just think.
Wait, he's really on his knees.
He's absolutely
fielding on his knees.
No. Yeah.
What?
It's a position the guys get into when they're really, really close to the bat, and I mean the ball. Yeah. You're really looking for the slightest of advantages, and my gut feel as a batsman would be to try and really smash it into them. Except that where he is, it's quite difficult to hit the ball into that area where Temba is. You're as just forward of off. You're in a reasonably safe position, because the batsman would have to give himself room out to the leg side and then try and slap it through covers to try and hit Temba there. So he's probably quite safe. Now he's managed to get up, although he's staying in the same place. And it's swept square of leg side, and all that Heinrich Nortje can do is chase it all the way down to the boundary, and that will run away for 4. It takes Mohammad Rizwan to 6 off 19. Fawad Alam is still there on 48, and Pakistan go to 134 for 5. This partnership now worth 13 off nearly 6 overs, and beginning to rebuild after losing that wicket of Azhar Ali a little bit earlier. Caught de Kock and bowled Maharaj. He scored 51, and we're now just waiting for Fawad Alam to maybe get through to his half century. The next ball, Mohammad Rizwan is able to just work it away for a single. They jog through. That's the final ball of Maharaj's 17th over now. Maharaj, 2 wickets for 41. He's been going along at 2.4 runs an over. Generally has been quite economical, but has been had a couple of fours hit off him in this most recent spell, which is now actually worth 15 overs. I hadn't realized that he'd been bowling for that long. So he is beginning to be slightly more expensive.
That sweet shot by Rizwan was really well executed.
Yeah.
Got to the pitch of the ball and got it in front of square of the man at fine leg, or just behind square on the leg side. So good shot there by Mohammad Rizwan.
Please do give us some tweets here.
So we have one from Umpo saying lots happening in this period. Half chances are being created. Now we need to convert one of these half chances, and SA will have the momentum. That one was from Umpo, your friendly neighborhood sports guy. And Lee says that she's back from her unsuccessful quest to buy some kale, and South Africa only managed 1 more wicket. We are doomed.
I'm assuming the quest was considered to be unsuccessful because she was able to buy some kale.
I asked the very same question. I asked if the mission was to buy kale or to come back when SA had more wickets, if that was the whole mission. And she replied with, it was for kale, but 3 supermarks I tried didn't have any, so I'll try some in the other direction after stumps. Yes, Leah, keep your eyes glued to the cricket. Keep your ears glued to Gorilla SA, because we're going to be giving you the good stuff here.
So we are just waiting for the feed to return. In case you're wondering about what's happening with the cricket, and there's probably a drinks break as well around this time, 1 hour after lunch. And we are due a commentary change too. So I will be on my merry way, if you'll excuse me. Thanks a lot, Simon, Tsepo.
Cheers, Otto. You stay well.
Yes,
Thanks very
you
much
too.
for joining us. Yeah, all three of us are actually supposed to be disappearing off. I've got to drive off to the Mpumalanga Highveld now to go and do some adults work. So we are joined, I'm seeing, by Tim. Hi, Tim. Welcome. And I see Chris is going to be joining us shortly as well. Who's the other chap who's going to be on? I think it's Ken, eh?
It's me, or at least I think it's me. If someone wants to jump in, I'm happy to make space, but I think I'm scheduled.
Oh, geez, mate. Sorry, you must. I think I've accidentally overscheduled you when we initially did the schedule. So you, by all means,
that's
you
fine.
must.
I'll
Okay.
ask if I really want to, but I mean, I'm just glad I get to talk about cricket with my homies. It's Tim and Chris. What's up, guys?
Oh, I see what happened is Ken was initially supposed to do this slot and you jumped in yesterday and then we accidentally rescheduled you for this again today.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm here. I'm happy. As long as we're
Okay,
here
cool.
with the boys chatting about the cricket. Yes.
All right, guys. So I see that there are four of you here, or four of us here. So I'm going to bow out as well. You guys enjoy your period, and I will see you guys. Well, I'll listen to you on my drive, and we'll and wish you luck, and we'll hopefully be able to tweet you at some point through the thing. You guys enjoy your.
Sure. Thanks, Simon.
Sure, Simon.
Gentlemen. How are you guys doing? How's the cricket treating you?
All good. Can't complain.
Could be slightly better, but we're here to take wickets now. That'll be the change.
That's what we need to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see things getting a bit better. We want to see a bit more wickets. There've been a lot of half chances, Craig, as Umpo was saying in his tweet. It looks like there may be another breakthrough here, and you don't want that situation where you keep prodding. It looks like it's going to be close, but then you just don't get the breakthrough, and then all of a sudden, Rizwan has another half century. So yeah, we need a breakthrough now. Where do you guys think the breakthrough is going to come from?
I'm always going to back KG because I want to see that 200th wicket.
I'm hoping for the spin. I'm hoping for another Maharaj wicket. I want him to keep doing well, to keep cementing his place. And I think he's bowled pretty well so far. So
say again.
I think he's bowled pretty well. He's bowled well.
Yes.
He's bowled well.
And it's almost like the type of compliments you give good test batting. Just stay in there, keep consistently while hitting those line and lengths for bowling, and you'll get the breakthrough. And that's what we've seen with Maharaj. Hasn't been too expensive. A few overs went for a few boundaries, but he got the breakthrough he eventually deserved. His bowling definitely deserved that.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, we seem to have a break in transmission, which is slightly
I think it's
annoying.
a drinks break. No, it's either a drinks break or
my screen says
it's just transmission.
break in transmission.
I think it's both. Yeah, the break in transmission seems to coincide more or less with the drinks break, but I don't know if they've started playing the cricket again and we're missing it whilst they show us ads and try to fix it, or exactly what's happening.
I guess whenever I see adverts, I assume that's time that people have bought. So you won't just get an advert out of nowhere because, you can't just do that. This isn't some sort of tea advert that you can just shove in anywhere. This is something else.
Now I do have the notification that says that SuperSport apologizes for the break in transmission. So I don't know if we're going to be doing commentary off the Cricinfo scorecard or what the plan is. But it doesn't look like they've bowled any more deliveries since we lost the broadcast.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a Cricinfo live feed here in case that does happen. Maybe we should sync up our feeds. Oh, it's too late now because now we're all seeing the same thing. I just got to the break in transmission now.
Okay. Because, I try to sync mine up that's why I came a little bit early, and I was backstage trying to sync mine up with what you guys were saying.
I
I've
see.
got pictures of the
Okay, let's
test
do
again.
this.
I'll pause it here. Let me know when you see the badge, and then you see.
Yeah, I see the back of the test.
Spaces.
Yes, I see the badge. It's happening now.
I see the
Cool,
team,
cool.
The badge is coming.
South African team in a circle.
I'm not quite there yet. I just
So,
put the cock and Baba.
yeah.
Technical problems is what I'm getting. Yeah.
So,
Oof.
Tim, I think because Tsepo's on a stream and I'm on live TV, he's about a minute behind the live TV. So if you pause your TV for a minute, that should be more or less where he is. I'm sure this is great listening for all our supporters, but it'll pay off once the cricket action
Just
starts.
hearing us sync up. I got
We
to the
can't be
circle
slow,
now. I'm at the
slow.
circle of South Africans now.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, gotcha.
Aiden Markham is holding his arm. Yeah, away.
Yeah. We can't be blamed
Yes, Tim,
for
you were saying.
we can't be blamed for the lack of broadcast on the television.
Sure.
You know,
I wish
the fact
Pit
there's
Vision was there.
no cricket to broadcast. It's not our fault.
Yeah. We're
That's
offering
why
more than
we can
SuperSport was.
still talk about cricket. Did you guys
So,
hear about
I wouldn't mind.
Mohammed Rizwan? Yeah, please, Chris.
What about Mohammed Rizwan?
Oh, I just wanted to mention the stat that he's had 5 50s in his last 6 innings, and he was looking a bit shoddy. But if he just stays in, he may just get another one.
I think he's
Yeah, I guess he's only just started. I wouldn't mind seeing Fawad Alam get another 50. I do like the way that he plays, even if it's alternative. And I like the fact that he's come back after such a big gap to sort of prove the selectors for the past 14 years wrong and show that he probably should have been playing for them in between.
Mm.
Yes, I tend to
But he can get
agree,
a 50 and then go. Sorry,
yeah, no,
it's from earlier.
once you get past the inner eccentrics of his technique, if you look at where he is when the ball's about to be bowled, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what he does beforehand. He's in position when the ball's about to be bowled. I think it's a very, very good cricketer, and I tend to agree. I think that he definitely should have played a lot more than what's this eighth test match, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, 3 of which were in 2009, and then the other 5 started in 2020. There's a good 11-year gap between his test career. And it's not like he was playing badly in between or even in those. I mean, he scored 168 in one of those 3 tests almost 12 years ago now. And he was also averaging 56 in first-class cricket in between. He obviously just rubbed someone the wrong way who was up and important in Pakistan cricket, and he's managed to get back in the side finally now.
That's a very interesting situation when politics gets involved. It's not very nice to see. It's actually, I shouldn't assume that it's just politics. Maybe there was who actually took his place in the batting order. Was it someone that really brought a lot? Was it the previous captain? What was it?
I mean, it's been
What was
12 years, so there've been lots of batsmen in between. In over 12 years, I guess you can decide which of those were taking his place. Most of the Pakistani, I guess Haris Sahel would have been one of the guys who's recently out of the side again, although they did play a few games together. Yeah, lots of guys in the middle order. You were speaking about the last captain, Sarfraz Ahmed. Although he was a wicketkeeper, he was also taking up the space in the middle order. I can tell you that, although we don't have live cricket on the TV, there's been 4 deliveries from Maharaj to Fawad Alam that we've missed, and they've all been dots. Nothing too exciting.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah, got the 5 as well. Yeah, fantastic. We'll keep those statistics. It's a bit difficult to chat about cricket without the cricket right in front of us, but yeah, it's good that he cemented his spot here. He has an opportunity to get that half century to really solidify and to make it easier for the selectors. It's also good to see Mohammed Rizwan in the mix here. As I said, great form, especially in the series. One of the batsmen that really stood up when
everyone was collapsing. But the problem seemed to be in the top order, Pakistan, not really kicking off. And the likes of Rizwan and Baba Azam come in a little early. So, yeah,
Most-
That has
that's
been a
definitely the
problem they've
gap.
had for a while.
Most teams
They've
at the
been
moment,
cycling through opening batsmen. Sorry.
most teams at the moment are having a problem with the openers. If you look at most of the teams around the world, that one area where they seem to all have a problem with is opening batsmen. If you look at if you look at us, if you look at England with their tour to Sri Lanka now, both openers struggle there. If you look at Pakistan, lots of changes. If you look at Sri Lanka's openers, there's nobody. With all due respect, Kusal Pereira opening the batting, Test cricket just doesn't feel right. So nobody in the top 6, 7 teams is actually settled. So that, yeah, it's not just a Pakistan problem; it's a world problem.
Heinrich Nortje's in his first ball, and that went for a single, which moves Rizwan to 8 off 27, and now Alam is on strike on 48. And that brings into the conversation Aiden Markram, who's really not solidified his spot, and I saw some punditry saying that if he doesn't strike in this Test series and he comes home without really getting a big score, there'll be question marks on his place. But my question is, who comes in after him and solidifies their spots, and how long do we take with that person to give them a fair shot at that opening spot, because it's a very hard spot to solidify?
You've got whoever you give a chance to, you've got to give them an extended run. Now, one series, let's say two Test series of 2 tests each, it's not enough. It's so that's what's that? That's 8 innings. 8 innings is just not enough to decide. It's such a specialized position. But if you want names, the man who's there with reserves would deserve a crack. Saul Elvia. If you look at his numbers, they are, in this season, in 4-day cricket, they are considerably higher than anybody else in that list. So he would come in. He's similar in the way that they brought in Rassie at the beginning, in that he knows his game inside out. He's of that mold who's played a lot of first-class cricket, a lot of experience. But whoever you do give, you've got to give them an extended run.
True. We have another ball here. Fawad Alam changed strike. He's sitting on 49, and Mohammad Rizwan has just hit a boundary off Heinrich Nortje, which takes him to 12 of 28. Alam is sitting on 49 of 134 on the non-strikers, in Pakistan 141 for 5.
I trust that you're still doing that off Cricket Info, hey? The commentary.
Yep.
I'm still watching old cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm just looking at all the different opening batsmen that countries have had to use over the last 5 years. So since the beginning of January 2015, 119 different players have opened the bats in Test cricket. And
Since when?
in the case of Pakistan, since 2015. So I think Pakistan have had 12 different openers in the last 5 years. I can try to see how many we've had. Fewer than that. We've had Olgo Markram,
certainly.
Stephen Cook, Peter Malan, Stian van Zyl, Quinton de Kock,
Stian van Zyl,
Temba Bavuma, Alvira Peterson, Tiennis de Bruin, and Vernon Philander also opened in a game for us.
So that's how many is that?
What?
12.
What?
A similar amount, yeah.
That's 12. I think it's 12. It was a bit quick for me there, but I think that's 12.
That's crazy. Under
I've
which
got 11, but maybe
circumstances
it's 12.
Vernon
Yeah.
Philander
12.
opened
12 and
the batting? I want to know.
you can say 11 because is it Philander did it once? That yeah, he's not.
Oh,
And Quinton de
wait.
Kock maybe doesn't count either. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's a frontline batsman now, so any frontline batsman would have to count.
yeah.
But as I say, it's a world problem at the moment.
Yeah, just on batsmen or tail enders batting in funny places. Zubair Hamza debuted at number 5, and Hashim Amla debuted at number 5 for South Africa. And there's only one South African who debuted at number 5 between them. And that was Dwan Olivier, who came in as a night watchman in his first innings.
Whoa. That's crazy.
SA Twitter's favorite
So
cricketer.
Vernon Philander opened the batting against India in Mohali in 2015. That was when he was our opener. He scored. Oh, no, I have to go find it again. He scored 1 run off 2 deliveries, and he was out.
Oh, did he come in as like a night watchman opener? Is that what happened?
Sort of. I think he played well in the previous innings, and they thought, okay, this guy, he can probably do
Let's
that
give him a
night
few
watchman
balls.
role.
Lads,
I
we've got a live
Is your
live
feedback?
broadcast. We've got the
My
feedback.
feedback.
Hey, we're back to cricket.
Fantastic. I'm about to see Keshav Maharaj bowl the first ball of his over that was cut to the offside for no run. What do you guys see?
Cool. So you're almost exactly a minute behind live TV. Yeah, I paused for a couple more seconds, and I was synced with you.
Perfect. Tim, what do you see?
Uh,
Keshav Maharaj,
look,
this one blocked.
I'll
Sorry, Tim?
I'll let you commentate to work out. Maharaj is bowling, but I don't know what ball you up to.
Third ball coming in, and this one was cut to the offside. That
Okay.
will be a single. Yeah, that was to the point region. That'll be a single for Fawad, and that brings up his half century, a well-earned half century by Fawad Alam. That half century coming off 137 balls and only 4 boundaries in that knock. A very patient innings.
Yeah,
that.
a small sample size of just 14 innings, but I can tell you that every time he's got even to 30 runs, he's got 100. So it's feast or famine for Fawad Alam.
You've stolen my stats.
No, he's looking very
Oh, sorry.
solid. Is Alam? He's
I was waiting for that.
We have stat wars. Stat wars happening here between the gents. Who's going to get the
And
next
that's the
statistic?
problem now, because I was showing Seppo how to get to some of these stats, and he's going to start looking up stats as well. So we're going to have all 3 of us just itching to say the
I
same
have
thing.
my Rizwan stats here. Yeah. Next time we commentate together, we must all bring facts and be like, "Oh, you guys got my stats. Who's got the best stats, bro?" Yeah, we're the stat guys. But am I doing ball by ball? I'll do this one as Keshav Maharaj
Yeah,
comes from
'cause-
around the wicket to Rizwan for no run.
As long
I
as
think
that's
it's
okay
best
with
that you
Jeff,
do it because you're. Sorry?
I was going to say, as long as that's okay with you, Jeff, is that all right?
Yeah, 100%. As long as someone else gets tweets, then
I can happily do that.
sick Rick.
Just need
Pogo stick.
So you spoke about the Kale thing, and then it's just people complimenting Dan Diper's sketch from earlier. Those are the only recent tweets.
Yeah, yeah.
Got compliments from Ibrahim and from Shafiq Mokashi.
That is a very nice sketch. I wonder how he does these sketches. Actually, do you mind, Dr.
You'd imagine
Dan?
he has to pause the
tweet us.
TV or something.
Yeah. I'd imagine that he put in the pause thing there as well, just as a troll, just to be. No, I'm joking.
Interesting that they're showing that the highest averages in first-class cricket around the world, and Fawad Alam is in 3rd place, behind Steve Smith and Bahari of India.
And Heinrich Nokia into the attack, coming from over the wicket. This one goes leg side, picked up by Quinton de Kock for no run.
So he's really done the hard yards over the years in the first-class setup.
So it's
feel
good
like-
to see him getting his reward now.
100%. I feel like the only time you could really look at first class stats is for individuals that have been in the first class for like a very long time that are breaking through, and that's how they justify their spots. Because the likes of Faf du Plessis is sitting like on a first class average of what, 39 or even lower than that. Yeah,
his first
it's
class
lower than
average is lower than his test average. Yeah.
because he
That's
plays
what
so
my-
many test matches. What? No?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's just because
And
he just doesn't have much
sometimes,
cricket. So yeah.
sometimes the opposite really happens. I know JP Duminy, his first class average is 46, his test average is 33. But if you exclude his tests from his first class average, it's over 50. So
If you-
it's just
if
pure
you-
first class stats.
Oh wow.
His first class numbers include test numbers.
include international
you
numbers, and
exclude
this one
Yeah.
a dot ball to the keeper from Nokia, the third ball of the inning over rather. I see. Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the
that's
point.
very interesting.
I think that's the brand will be similar, right, Chris?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can get that exactly. And then I was going to look at the most famous example of that always gets brought up. Maybe that's just because I mostly follow the English media, is Mark Ramprakash, who always used to just dominate county cricket and was never really able to make it on the test stage.
Yeah.
He averaged
And this
53
one,
in first
Been
class.
a bit shorter.
And-
Play to the leg side
Yeah.
for no run.
53 in first class cricket and then 27 in tests, Mark Ramprakash.
Disparity.
And it's not like he didn't play a lot of tests. He got 52
No, I know.
tests and was just
poor. That's unfortunate. Do you think he just didn't have the quality to go to the next level? Yeah, is that the case? Why is there such a huge
I think
disparity there?
I think for him, a lot of it had to do with the mental side. He had the ability, but I don't think
Another
he had
dot ball.
the mental adaptability.
Fortitude. I
Um,
see.
Yeah.
Sure.
Graham Hick,
Test
Graham
cricket isn't
Hick
for
was-
everyone.
Graham Hick was the same, smacking the ball all over the place for Worcestershire. And then anyone with any pace in Test cricket, he just couldn't hack it.
Oof, and this one a lot fuller, but kept out by Fawad. Great defensive shots in over Pakistan sitting on 144 for 5. A trail by 76 runs with 5 wickets in hand here.
Yeah, it's hard to support individual players playing against your own team. I want them to sort of continue that stat of low scores between 30 and 100, but I also don't want them to do that against South Africa.
Yeah, and now especially. But it's up to the bowling attack. It really is. I feel it's feeling a little flat. Or last time it was looking like it was there was going to be a bit of a turn for the better here for South Africa, but haven't really seen many deliveries that are showing very encouraging signs just yet. But we're just seeing some pictures of the swing here. The swing is actually pretty hectic coming out the hand here from Heinrich Nokia. So hopefully, we could really exploit this a lot better as Maharaj comes to attack, and this one driven for no run.
But that can also start making decisions difficult. If you're beginning to get reversed just before you do the new ball, and then you don't know what to do because, you're enjoying that reverse swing.
Especially with their five down.
And this one blocked for no run to the offside.
Because although
So-
Ashraf is reasonable, they do have a bit of a long tail in Pakistan.
And this one, a lot of flights blocked to the offside for no run. The question is, would South Africa, would you, if you were Quinton de Kock, take the new ball if it was offered to you in the next, let's say, 10 overs? So much swing from this ball here. Doesn't look like the reverse swing is going to go away.
We do the new ball in just over 14 overs. Yeah, at 80 overs. I guess you'll keep an eye on it. If you get a couple of wickets with the reverse swing, or if it's moving around enough, then you may not. But if it seems to die, then I'm sure you'll bring KG back on with a new pill as soon as he can. Also worth thinking that there's sort of 4.5 down, that with one of the batsmen already being out.
Sorry, quickly, let me come in with the balls
Sure.
here. We have 2 dot
Sure.
balls, one to the offside and one straight back to Keshav Maharaj. Sorry about that. Continue, Chris.
I was just saying that one of the wickets that they have lost is Shaheen Shah Afridi, the the night watchman. So
Hmm.
5 wickets makes it look a bit better than it is if it's probably 4.5, realistically.
Yeah, true. And Keshav's last ball of the over swept to a backward deep square leg for single. 145 for 5 are the Pakistanis. Yeah. Yeah, so South Africans aren't striking, not getting as many wickets as we would have hoped. But we keep pushing on as long as we keep that run rate down. But Pakistan are slowly creeping up to our score of 220. Not very far.
And if you think where they were at the close of play yesterday, they've really taken control. I mean, there were 33
Exactly.
for 4.
Yeah. That's
I mean, if you think of it, that 94-run partnership that we're seeing here between Fawad and Azhar Ali could be a match-winning partnership. Really change the complexion of the game significantly.
It's also exactly what we were missing in our middle order, where we never really managed to get a partnership together.
Yeah, that partnership that the Timber had, that was the time to do that similar sort of role. No,
Him and
they
George
put it-
Linder.
Yeah, they put on what 45 or something. That was the sort of partnership where you thought they could have put on another 40 runs or so, 40, 50 runs.
Lungi Ngidi coming from the pavilion end, and this one blocked by Rizwan for no run.
Blocked it so hard that he broke the cameras again.
That was a powerful forward defensive strike there. But yeah. This. What do you think the problem with the feed is? Why was it going so well yesterday and not so good today?
Yeah, coming and going, I really have no idea, because it doesn't look like they're having any funny weather conditions over there in Pakistan.
Hmm.
And Supersport loves to say
Ngidi
that's
into
the
attack, and
problem
this
from
one
the venue.
blocked.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah, whether it's actually the case, Supersport will shift the blame and say, "Oh no, it's Pakistan that's not giving us proper signal." We don't know for sure where the problem.
I would have
is.
done the same thing. If I was Super Sports, I would do the same thing. As soon as people complain at me, I'm like, yo, bro, take it easy. That's not just me here. And then all you have to do is say that there are lots of nuances to this whole broadcasting thing that you won't understand. Just keep muddying the waters. Nothing must be hard and fast. That's how you get out of trouble.
You see, Charles Lagerfeld and Bjorn Hendricks sitting together. They don't look all that happy at the moment.
As I was about to see the
I
next
can tell
ball,
you-
I think this
yeah.
was punished for 4 runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick info. I don't know how it was, but it was. Oh, it's coming back, and we're just seeing first bumps. Can you please see the shot? Oh, we're about to see the shot here. This one was on the offside and cut off the back foot, full face of the bat. Beautiful strike to the offside. Oh, that's a cricket shot. Here's one. Yes, indeed. A bit loose there,
it's
bit
mad.
short.
As you say, he's a man
Sorry,
in
Tim?
form. As you say, he's a man in form. Both series against England and New Zealand, he was averaging over 40 in both those series. So he's a man in prime form.
In top form, yeah, no doubt about it. Ngidi comes to the attack. This one a lot fuller, driven on the onside. Beautiful shot. 4 runs, sir. Shoo. Now, this man is a tip-top batsman. Surprised didn't see him earlier in the order, but yeah, that was quite a crunching shot to the offside, to the onside rather, an on drive. Talk about quality.
And maybe it's
Oh,
another
just-
example of the supporters knowing more than the selectors. I know that the last time we played Pakistan, a lot of people were commenting that Sarfraz Ahmed needs to go and Mohammad Rizwan needs to be the wicketkeeper, and he's proving that now.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really is, eh? He really
Sarfraz
is. So
Ahmed-
much quality.
Sarfraz Ahmed lived on that Champions Trophy win for a good 18 months.
Oof, and this one a lot fuller. LBW appeals but this one looks like it came off the bat. Lungi Ngidi isn't looking very interested. Shoo, a lot happening now. A lot happening now. Just looking at the replay, this one pitched a lot fuller, bounced on a half volley length, but this one off the bat for no run.
And so far in his career, Rizwan sort of been the opposite of Fawad Alam. He's got 650s
Alam.
and no hundreds.
Oh, whereas Alam only got the hundreds and not the 50s. That's very strange.
The other guy, obviously famous for struggling to convert, Joe Root, but that's not been the case in that recent Sri Lanka series.
And this one driven back to Ngidi for no run. End of the 67th over, 153 for 5 are Pakistan.
This one showing Quinton de Kock what he should be doing.
Yeah. Oh,
Getting
man.
behind good balls and hitting the bad ones.
Exactly.
Not the other way around.
South Africa are very desperate for a breakthrough here, or they would be desperate. The lead is dwindling ever so slightly, ball by ball. So where's the breakthrough going to come from? It looked like Kagiso Rabada was the main guy to get the next wicket, but he's not in the attack anymore. So South Africa looking for some answers here.
I still think it's going to be spin before the new ball. I still think the spin is where it's going to come.
Yeah, just get the spinners on and get that new ball as quickly as you can. Let the spinners run through their overs and then let KG come on with a nice new ball. Maybe that's a defeatist attitude. I mean, it's still 13 overs out and I'm looking forward to the new ball.
I think it's a good chance for George Linder, who's into the attack now, to really cement his place. If he really wants this place, he can't just be tying up one end, which he's doing very well. This one, a very full blocked by Fawad to the onside for no run. Can't just be tying up the ends. Maybe we need a little bit more from him, or he just ties up the end, but there needs to be someone getting a wicket. Maybe we're turning to Lungi Ngidi for that.
Chris, I can't see you. I don't mind.
That's because I've had to put my phone on an ice block and it keeps overheating. I can give you this angle.
I don't mind, but
Chris, I can't see you. I don't mind. Quotes. Things you don't say to your girlfriend. Yes. George Linder coming to attack again here. And this one blocked to the offside for a quick single. An easy single, in fact. Is someone on tweets?
I can check again. There hadn't been any for a bit. I'll refresh that. Okay, so we've got two. It's Ravi Nair saying it's not SuperSport's fault. The feed was dodgy here in Bombay too. And then Paul says ball reversing nicely now. Lovely shape. Now for the quicks to disguise it well and keep the batsman guessing.
That could probably be the tactic. So then it's not the new ball. As you see, George Linder coming from around the wickets now to the right-handed Rizwan. And this passes the silly square leg for 1 run. Pakistan 154 for 5.
It must be a challenge coming into the side as a second spinner because you sort of know Keshav, if you're George Linder, you know Keshav Maharaj has that first choice spot down pat. And you're only ever really going to get opportunities when we do tour the subcontinent because we're not going to be picking two spinners normally. So fair bit of pressure, but also as he comes in.
That's the chance. As he comes in again, this one blocked back to George Linder for no run. Yes, you're saying?
But yeah, I guess maybe he accepts that he'll always be a second spinner in tests. But something like the T20 World Cup, or just T20s in general, where spinners are more useful, that may be where he ends up needing to prove himself, especially as an all-rounder.
And this one blocked to the onside. Great bowling. This one looked like it came off the edge, went through Fawad's legs to the silly square leg there. Silly mid-wicket, rather. 155 for 5 are the Pakistanis.
That's true.
And
That's all true. But
What?
everything every role that George has been given in international cricket, he's taken to it very easily. Whether it was the T20s against England, and whether it's here with the bat, where he was very useful with his 35, second spinner here. He doesn't seem flustered by any role that he's been given in international cricket so far.
That's
Yeah,
very
that is
true. Looks
good,
like he's
'cause it
just
might-
knitting his straps.
It might be frustrating knowing that, if he were to try to go for that first choice spinner role, he'd absolutely have to blow Maharaj out of the water, which I don't think is too likely.
And this one, Lungi Ngidi into the attack, and this one just caught by in the cock for no run.
Seems to be a character who's very happy and content with where he is.
Yeah.
Doesn't to force the issue necessarily. Just looks like he's doing what he knows he does best, sticking to his strengths and not trying too hard, not doing anything too unconventional. But I think we're looking for something a little bit more eccentric now. I respect the consistency, the stability that he offers, but at the same time, right now we're looking for something a little more spicy. Lungi Ngidi, getting some spice off the deck there. This one beats Rizwan's bat as he tries to pull it away and caught by Quinton de Kock for no run.
This is why I wanted Chancellor to play this test. If he was fit and everything,
Man,
he would have added that spice. He would have added
that spice.
that variety in this attack.
Oh, no ball called. We've seen quite a few no balls from both teams, in fact. I wonder what's the average of extras in an innings, actually.
But I think a big part of that is them just bringing in the third umpire to do it. Because there's a problem of lots of no balls in Test cricket just not being called. Because umpires struggle to do both, to watch the wicket and call
Both
the no
things,
balls.
yeah.
And that's part of why they had to bring it in. So I guess we'll see those numbers come down as bowlers get used to getting called for no balls over and over again.
I'd hope so. And this one into Quinton de Kock's hands for no run. We're just seeing visuals of Quinton de Kock waving at someone and telling him to get down. Get down! It looks like it's
It's
an
not just the
engagement.
bouncer that he's shouting at.
Seriously angry. Yeah.
Butch is just not even responding. He's like, what are you talking about? But Quinton is furious. I've been waiting for another tea advert. I won't lie. Those are some of the best parts of the cricket as Lungi Ngidi comes here. This one blocked or played down, chopped down onto and to the offside for no run. The product placements, man, it's key.
It's better than when they use fake noise. I'll say that.
Chris.
Can't stand that fake noise.
That's better then?
I can't stand the fake noise.
True. Yeah, true.
there's no
The
crowd-
fake ambiance. Thanks for that, Chris.
if there's
Thank you for the tin there.
If there's no crowd, there's no crowd.
Yeah, fact. Lungi Ngidi, this one into Quinton de Kock's hands for no run. Yeah, it's very strange because now what you can obviously hear is that the crowd is recorded, and when the ball beats the inner ring, then the crowd goes wild, and you're like, oh, is this going for a boundary? But then here's the advert. It's here. They're playing tic-tac-toe, Oaks. And this guy is
I love
about
it.
to be
Daryl.
dominated.
Come on,
Oh,
Daryl.
Daryl! Oh, you
Ah,
got shot. You gave her the win,
I think
Daryl.
that's Zainab Abbas.
Probably. And I don't know what they won. They won something. Why can't we play tic-tac-toe, Oaks? Why can't we get
We
some
can do it,
endorsement
just
deal?
not for prizes. We don't have prizes to give away.
somebody
Cheapers,
give us a prize.
creepers, these adverts. This one driven to the offside to a fielder for no run.
You
Who
were
comes
just
up with-
asking about the most no.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can talk. The most no
No, I was
balls in
gonna
an
talk
innings is 40,
Yeah.
and that's happened twice, both by the West Indies in the late 80s, sort of where the West Indies were at near the peak of their bowling prowess, they're bowling the most no balls. One would imagine it's more an intimidation thing than actually missing the line.
Yes, yeah,
I
I would,
see.
yeah, you would think so.
And this one, oh, a big LBW appeal. That looks good to me. But
Stick
not
him.
to the
It might be dumb
umpire.
leg, but I'm very
Oh, no.
biased. I just
Stick
need
leg.
it to be a wicket.
Don't do the review.
Look
Don't
at
do the review, Quinton.
Just a leg.
That
We
was
only
a
have one left.
fantastic ball. Nah, don't waste the review here, bro. Oh, he's done it. He's
Don't
reviewed
waste-
it.
Jeez.
Quinton,
Ah,
the
Quinton the
cock.
cock has the
This
demeanor
man
of
lives
a
by the
man who
sword.
doesn't know this is a test match. He was just sort of laughing at and then reviews last minute.
Oh man, he's giving a little bit of energy, a bit of. It could be umpire's call. We could retain this review.
I know
Oh,
it's
no, this is
That's
missing
very dumb
completely.
leg.
This is down
We
leg.
have 3
big
reviews and
time,
we've
bro.
used them all.
Wasted
reckon that-
them, not
I
used.
reckon that's missing 6 stumps.
Yes, that's
That's missing 6 stumps.
a horrible review, and we haven't even seen ball tracking yet, and we can already tell. We're looking at ball tracking now. Pitching outside off. The impact is in line, but it's in line with leg stump, and it's missing leg
Yeah.
stump quite significantly.
That might
here.
have been umpire's call if there was a 4th stump.
If there was a 4th stump, literally. Oh man.
And we've got none left. And I was just going to see the worst decision.
Oh.
I guarantee it. That's going to
That's gonna happen. Oh, Quinny, bro.
Oh,
Why?
I missed the second. I missed the second review. I had stuff to do.
The second review was an LBW appeal that looked like it could have hit the pad first, but the bat was right next to the pad. If it did hit the pad, that would have been out. So that wasn't a
Who was the
bad
bowler
review.
there?
Say again?
Who was the bowler on the second?
That was
review?
George Linder.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a bad review. The first one was a bit edgy. The second one, not a bad review. I like that. But the third one was careless. Oh,
Horrendous. Horrendous.
horrendous. Save it
Panic
for
state.
something. George Linder into the attack now. This one chopped down into the ground. 2 offside for no run.
And I think Pakistan finished their bowling innings with all 3 reviews intact. Compared
don't
to us,
need-
who've used us all in just 5
Yeah.
wickets.
And one of them was a night watchman, 4.5. We should keep reminding ourselves that, because honestly, that's the fact. George Linder, this one a bit more offside and off the edge. It looks like it's running to the boundary, but Lungingidi picks it up, saves 2 runs there. Oh man, yeah. South Africans really, or at least Quinton de Kock needs to review how he does reviews here, because it can't be maybe it's going to. You need to be sure when that review is going to happen. This isn't just might as well every time we have an appeal, let's do it, But maybe that's that aggression that we're looking for, just like without that control. And this one played to the onside for no run.
He just needs to learn how to tell his bowlers no. Because I think he's very easily convinced by Lungi and Gidi just going, please, just have a look, please.
Please, Cap. Yes, imagine him with Vernon Philander. Hey, yes. He wouldn't survive.
First over, all the reviews gone. Back to pre-DRS times for us.
And this one played to the onside for no run. A 4 defensive stroke. Oh, man.
Doesn't seem to be an awful lot there for the spinners at the moment. As you said, George was bowling economically, but it's not bowling threatening balls.
No, not at all. That's the thing.
They don't seem to be under pressure at the slightest.
Oh, and this one pitched a lot fuller, and it looks like it's going backwards of square here for 4 runs. It looked like he was trying to play through the covers, but somehow got it to go back. 4 runs for Fawad. Unfortunately, this economical over has just leaked. Is it already 6 runs? Could even be more.
Full toss. That's not good bowling.
Wow. Not at all. Nowhere near the stumps either. Very full, very wide. Ooh. Yeah, South Africans looking like they need a lot more patience here. Maybe to build up some pressure to get another wicket, because looks like they're under the pump at the moment. As Linda comes in here, this one a lot straighter, chipped to the leg side, will probably be a single. Yes, a very easy single to end
That's
the
what-
over. 163 for 5 of Pakistan.
Pakistan did that very well in our innings. We were 100 for 2. They brought on Naman Ali and Fahim Ashraf. And at the beginning, they weren't that threatening, but they suffocated us. All
Exactly.
of a sudden, we were going 4 runs and over. Runs stopped. We got stuck. And then we had the complete brainless dismissals. But we all came from the suffocation of the runs. We need something similar.
Exactly. Somehow the Pakistanis are finding the gaps here, and we need to tighten up.
It's a real slow burn stat that I've got here. I was looking around for different stuff, but I can tell you that we're sitting on 4,965,021 balls bowled in Test cricket. So just about 40,000 more balls, and we'll have 5 million balls in Test cricket.
They say 40,000 more balls. How many
Yeah.
40,000 more balls? How much is that in overs?
Like, what, 7,000 overs? Just under 7,000 overs.
Oh wow. Okay, that's sure.
So it's,
How
I said
mu-
it's
how
a
much-
slow burn one. That's one to look
Yeah,
out for.
It is
But
quite
when
a
it comes up in the news,
Yeah.
don't say you didn't know.
It's a good one.
Wouldn't it be great if it was a wicket? Wouldn't it be great if it was Steve Smith wickets? That would be great. I just love it.
So I can also tell you, we're sitting on 74,270 Test wickets. So we could get to 75,000 Test wickets soon as well.
You're a stats guy, bro. You're Tim, bro. Gonna let this man stat you like this, man. So we need.
It's
we
not
need
the
you
one
to
I was
up your
looking
game.
for.
come hit us with another stats comeback.
Even for me, that's gone deep there. That's
I need to up my game. Because I found that when I was trying to see how many no balls have been bowled this year, and I failed on that pursuit. So that was the backup stat.
I check.
solid one.
Oh well. Keep hitting us with those stats. Keep hitting us with those tweets if there are any tweets as well. Any tweets?
Yeah, that's important as well.
Lungi Ngidi into attack here from round
No,
the wicket
nothing
and an
new there.
edge. Oh, and there's no slip. Oh, that's unfortunate. And Fawad gets himself a boundary. That luck is deserved. That's the type of luck that you earn after earning your spots, moving the slip out there, getting yourself 4 runs off the edge. That was a very thick edge as well. Second slip could have
Can't-
caught that.
You can't expect to have slips after 70 overs on a pitch like this, though.
No.
And I think that one would have dropped short as well.
Yeah, I would have dropped short as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well
Oof.
short.
Struggling to see a plan here from the South Africans. Struggling to see what. Oh, now Quinton de Kock's brought in a slip now.
And it's a good man to have there.
Yeah, Faf du Plessis, great hands. Ngidi coming from over around the wicket here. Woof, and this one jumps off a leg.
bowling.
Really? Woof, great bowling from Lungi Ngidi. His tail's up now. Looking to strike is the young man.
There has been an occasional delivery like that. It's been probably the double figures, probably maybe 10 like that in their innings. Maybe slightly less. But the ball is just bit off the pitch from a good length and hit the gloves.
I like this. If Adam Markram gets on his knees at first slip, I always like that. We'll see. He's under the helmet,
He's under the lid.
but we'll see. Oh no, he's standing up as well.
It's under the lid at like a. It's not quite. It's like a third,
First.
a very short third slip.
It's like two,
or maybe
it's
like,
like
first slip.
2.5. It's like 2.5.
2.5.
But also,
yeah.
also short. He's come up in a
Very
bit closer.
short.
We were talking about how that ball would have drop short of the slips. I guess they're trying to counteract that. But you do sometimes see the slips on their knees in case the ball does come low like that, which maybe I'll just enjoy the novelty of it.
Aiden
It
Markham
makes
is
it
well
seem like the captain's trying to do something.
do something,
Yeah.
And that's what we like to see here from Quinton de Kock. He's a very aggressive, or I think reactive captain, as Lungi Ngidi comes from around. This one, a lot straighter, played to the leg side for no run. Do you think that's not too much of a reaction, like a reactive move and not a proactive move? But to be fair, we are behind the 8 ball. We're not really in control of this game.
Yeah.
So
I want to say that I like it so that if he does end up taking a catch, it looks like I know what I'm talking about.
There have been moments where I think Quinton
that's going to be a masterstroke.
has missed certain things, but I'm not going to be too critical there. I wouldn't expect them to have a slip at the first place, or even that shortish fielder. Like earlier on when Nakia was bowling, I didn't understand why there wasn't a short leg. I said that on earlier broadcast.
Yeah.
It just didn't make any sense to me. You've got your fastest bowler
And Paul's
bowling.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just a tweet from Paul who says new ball available in 10 overs. Is they taken immediately, or do they try with this older one that is reversing? We're talking about it earlier. I'm now entirely in the camp.
Oh,
New
double
ball.
step
We saw a good one.
from Rizwan, aggressing here with George Linder, taking no prisoners, beating this down the ground, lofted off the over the inner circle rather, a few bounces and 4 runs.
If it's 5 wickets down, it's new ball time. If it's 7, well, then we can reevaluate. But if it's 5
And so
wickets down,
6 is the real debate.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's
I'm
when
in
we really
camp
start
new
talking.
ball.
Yeah,
We saw all
firmly
the
in
wickets
camp-
with the new ball yesterday.
Exactly. I'm firmly in camp Newport
True,
as
true.
well. It doesn't look like the reverse swing is pretty, but it's not really doing the job, you know. George Linder coming from around the wicket to Rizwan. This one cuts,
Oh,
edged, picked up by Gali. Yo, that could have been a catch, but could it have been a catch? No, it bounced
It bounced short of
just
him.
wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not short. Definitely not short.
Oof.
Could be supporting,
Just look
right?
at a replay of that heave over the inner circle from Rizwan. Oh, cross bat, beats it down the ground. Said, "Get out of my house." 4 runs. And this one crunched to the offside for no run by Fawad. Yes, Fawad is on strike at the moment, the left-hander. So if we get the new ball, obviously KG is going to be on one end because he's the one that looks more likely to take wickets. Then who's on the other end? Do we start with Nkidi or do we go to Nokia?
One would think Nokia, the fact that they're bowling in Gidi now makes me think there's Nokia for later. But Nokia,
That's Nokia, yeah.
Extra bit of pace.
Yeah.
That means he can bowl with the older ball. So I wouldn't mind either of them, but as long as Rabada has the new ball.
And this one played to the onside by Fawad for no run. About to watch the 5th ball of Keshav's 9th over, or of Linda's 9th over.
George Linder,
This
yeah.
one blocked. Yes, for no run.
What sort of lead do we start to worry? If Pakistan get a lead of say 50, or is that when we start to really worry? Or
Yeah, I think 50 is when you start to worry. Once it's 100, then you're in panic stations. But hopefully it doesn't get to 100. But it really can with the quality of batting that we could see. This one played to mid-on for no run. And that should be the end of the over. 172 for 5 are Pakistan. Trailing by 48 runs, Fawad on 62 and Rizwan on 29 of 164 and 56 respectively.
Still think there's a possibility of a collapse here. As I say, they've got a bit of a long tail, and I would be surprised if they lasted with Nokia and Rabada in particular. It's just about getting that next wicket. You've got to get the next wicket fairly quickly.
Ideal situation for South Africa would be a wicket here with some reverse swing, and then with the new ball, just cleaning up the
It's
tail.
okay for us.
Say again?
Yeah. Chris, what did you say? You froze there for a second? And he's busy sorting stuff out. As they show that
I think his battery.
Last 5 tests for Mohammed Rizwan, he's averaged nearly 60. So as I said earlier, he's a man in very good form.
You see the stat guys here, they took my stats. You see, need to get on my level, stat guys. Get on my level. We the real stat boys. Yeah, but Rizwan is definitely on tip-top form, and you can even see by the quality of shots here. He was looking a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning, the ball beating the bat, but right now, it's the Rizwan show, man, and I've bought a front row seat ticket. Really enjoying it.
Yes, from a neutral perspective, it is good to watch. You want to see good cricket.
Good cricket. Oh, and this one, full and wide. Given the treatment, thrashed on the offside by Rizwan for 4 runs. All of a sudden, sitting on 33 or 57, he is moving. Now, too much width from Lungi and Gidi here. Making it too easy. That's the problem. It's just too easy to score runs.
That's the thing. The only one that is, you could say, is tightening things up is Linda. But he isn't looking threatening. Everybody else is bowling a bad ball every now and then. So there's no tightening of the runs at all.
And this one left, it was a bit wide left for no run. We have a tweet here from Ian Turner saying that Pakistan moving forward steadily. A breakthrough is required, and I could not agree more, Ian. And we have a man without a plan saying, take it. If we don't get a wicket with a reverse in the next 10, what's the point? 100% agreed. We have to take that new ball. Honestly. Oh, we have a tea advert. Yes, we have a tea advert. Looks like there's someone sitting in a park of some sort. He has some shrubbery behind him. He's just typing on his phone and sipping his tea and watching some cricket. We got the edge, and got the tea, picked up the wickets of Rizwan here. Great breakthrough here for Ngidi. Great to see. Great jubilation. Oh, it feels great to be a South African now. 176 for 6. Oaks. What a relief. Shoo.
Vital wicket before tea. Absolutely.
Yeah, just before tea. Didn't have a lot of time left.
And we're just looking at the replay here. A ball that just jagged off the seam here. A bit of movement off the bounce. Coming into the right-hander. Finding the edge. Faf du Plessis dives to his left at second slip to pick that one up. And Mohammed Rizwan, after scoring 33 or 59 balls, is caught by du Plessis off the bowling of Ngidi.
I was going to say it's going to be interesting to see whether they take tea immediately, but it looks like that might not be the case, in which case we have a chance at another one just before tea. Nice new unset batsman.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it's Ngidi that struck. I wasn't expecting it to be him, to be very honest with you, but now looking at the plan in retrospect, it was to get Rizwan playing, to make sure that he was a little bit more aggressive, and then just finding the edge with a little bit of movement off the pitch there. And yeah, very big wickets of Rizwan, who was in tip-top form, falls now. And we're just seeing visuals of the next batsman coming. It should be, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm on the wrong scorecard. Give me a moment.
Are you on the Cobras?
It should be Fahim Ashraf. Yes, Fahim Ashraf has just come in. Only 7 matches for Fahim, an average of 32. That's not bad at all. 250 is a best of 91. He's 27 years of age, a left. So we have 2 lefties at the crease now. That's going to be very interesting to deal with. So a few balls before tea, a few overs before tea. What will the South Africans be doing? Tim, what do you think?
I
Another
think
wicket?
they will get into everything they can now to get that extra wicket. I think you're going to see an exceptionally attacking field when Fahim takes strike. You're going to see all sorts of people around the wicket close in. Quinton's going to get desperate to get into that tail, which we are one wicket away from.
Now, just a tweet here. Quinton de Kock may be forced to take that being the new ball, considering the lack of wickets with the soft ball, unless the spinner has a couple of wickets in the next few overs. Well, it was Lungi Ngidi that struck, and he's still bowling now, coming from around the wickets to the left-handed Fahim, and that went to Quinton de Kock for no run. Another tweet here from Stephen Rosdell saying the guys have been a brick wall today. That was before the fall of the wickets. Then finally from Ian Turner, these two have the measure of the swing ball, and they need a new cherry to cartwheel the stumps. Yeah, maybe to clean up the tail with the breakthrough now. It's great to see. Great to see. Is this live? No, this isn't live. Never mind. We're just looking at the replay of
Because
the wicket ball, and this one's live. Say again?
I just wonder if this one knew where Faf was. Because at the last minute, that's a deliberate shot from this one.
Rizwan.
He opens the face, hit it in the gap. But I just wonder if he knew exactly where Faf du Plessis was. Whether he thought Faf was maybe a bit wider.
Yeah, I think he didn't read the movement of the ball very nicely. And just beat but it beat the outside edge. That's very interesting. Yeah, just probably misread it because it did jag off the surface. If you look at that replay again, jagged off quite sharply into the right hander. Yeah, and this one coming from around the wickets, a Yorker length too far wide by Ngidi, and this one squeezed to the leg side for a single. And that's the end of the over. 178 for 6, and that's tea.
Yeah, great little bit of reprieve from us at the end. But if you think about the day in total, Pakistan has scored 145 runs for just 2 wickets. It has really been their day. South Africa need to come back in that final session.
Oh, no doubt about it.
All to play for. All to play for. Nicely poised.
And this is what we expect from this test match. We expected two teams that are in a rebuilding phase to really battle it out here, and it looks like it could be an evenly matched game, evenly poised. So yeah, as it stands, as we go into tea, Pakistan sitting on 178 for 6 at the crease. Fawad Alam on a very sturdy 63 of 165 balls, and Fahim Ashraf has just entered. He's on 0 of 2 balls. The wickets to fall in this session were Mohammad Rizwan, and he fell for 33 of 59 balls. But gents, thank you so much for today. Oh, Chris is already gone. Tim, I'll check you later.
Later.
Cheers, buddy.